It's starting up. Oh my god. Hey, we are live. Holy crap. The first thing they're seeing is like a close-up of you, Sasuke.
As they should.
Welcome to the King of Anime podcast, everyone. The only podcast that, I don't know. What's the intro this week?
I don't know. We're the only podcast that has everybody that wears glasses.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Although you can't see glasses on mine, I should get like a PNG. Let me try and find something. Like the cool glasses meme.
I really want some contacts. I've been thinking about that for a long time, just because I hate the fact that I can't wear shades and stuff like that. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I have a whole bunch of glasses that I want to wear, but I can't wear them because
I know the feeling.
I need glasses.
I had contacts in for a bit, like long time ago, but then they fell out of my eyes, so then I had to stop wearing them. But contacts have improved significantly since then, so maybe I'll give them another try.
Yeah, I remember my sister used to wear them all the time, and they would she would never, they would dry up.
Hey!
I can't see shit. I can't see anything.
Those are wild glasses.
You're just like Gojo now.
Oh, yeah.
Except the blindness and the no powers, but yeah, I'm just like them.
Well, you know what they say, Sasuke. People that wear shades...
What?
They wear shades because their future is so bright.
Wow.
Okay. Inspirational. I'll take that. I'll take that to the grave.
That's very moving. I'm moved.
Are you bowel moved?
Several bowel movements just occurred. I don't know what to do.
Go to the doctor. I don't think that's a normal thing.
Maybe wipe.
I found the meme glasses. So now my character has meme glasses on.
Alright, let's see this. Wait till it updates.
Now I'm cool.
Oh, beautiful. Oh.
The smoke weed every day.
Hey.
Well, I've ignored the chat because I've been trying to find the meme glasses for a while. What's up, Decrepit Storm? Zishan and Decrepit Storm again. Decrepit Storm has contacts. We can get in contact with Decrepit Storm about his contacts and figure out how to get the contacts.
So, Decrepit Storm, let me ask you, what kind of contacts do you have? Do you have ones that you have to dispose of every day? I guess like the biggest deterrent for me wearing contacts is, other than me never wearing them before, is just that I don't want to constantly put them in my eye. But I know you have to take them out before you go to sleep and stuff like that.
Yeah. I hate that.
Yeah, that was the fun time I put contacts in my eye for the first time. I didn't clean them properly.
Oh, no.
So that they were all like dry when they went into my eye. And I was like, ow, ow, ow. There's something in my eye. This is not the right thing. And they were like, oh yeah, you're supposed to moisturize it first. And I was like, good to know.
Son of a bitch. Carp.
So definitely don't do that.
How you doing, Carp? So yeah, this is the King of Anime podcast. Every season we pick a bunch of anime to watch, as you can see at the bottom there. And we talk about them. And some weeks we have a killer past, and that is this week we have Mushoku Tensei and Rurouni Kenshin.
Okay. Yep.
What can he? How much can he shine?
Two on the chopping block today.
I mean, he's pretty shiny in the new one, so.
Oro.
I'd say like a thin coating of waxy kind of shine. Oh, Decrepit Storm says he has daily disposables. Well, that's unfortunate. QRW6 says
I think that's the common thing.
Yeah, I do not want to deal with disposing them daily. I would hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, that would ensure that nothing goes wrong. Like what EA was saying with like the moisturizing it. I don't think you have to do those with daily disposables. They're just like on the go.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
They're automatically moist.
Mm-hmm.
Light Roller says, sounds like Tensei is getting cut.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Maybe you're getting cut, Light Roller. How about that?
Right. Yeah. You and Aqua can get along.
So yeah, this week's a Killer Pass week, so we're gonna get to that. But before that, let's go ahead and get into the actual show proper. By the way, check out my cool background, y'all. Look at that. Is that not the coolest thing you ever seen? My background. I'm live on the scene in Night City. There's a Japanese man behind me. He is standing inside of a car.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. So if I get shot, please call the police, but actually don't. Because they won't care anyways.
Top 3,000 coolest things I've seen.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the news. What do we got this week?
Well, one thing that I found kind of near and dear to my heart was finding out and actually it was funny enough that Light Ruler posted this news in my server, but apparently we're getting some information with the Madoka Magica Walpurgis movie, the sequel to Rebellion, because this was something that was announced supposed to happen this year, last year, I believe. But apparently, yeah, September 10th, we're supposed to get some information regarding that. Hopefully a concrete date or something on Aniplex Online Fest. So I'm excited to see. It's weird that I'm excited to see that movie because usually with things like this, where it's been years removed, at this point it is a decade removed from the Rebellion movie, I believe. I don't usually like sequels to stuff like this, but with Madoka Magic, I feel like there's still things that they can explore, or they can even expand on more than what the last movie did. So I'm excited for it.
As long as we get another a cake song, if we get one of those, I'll be good.
We get a return with cake. Not me. It's the apple.
Round cake. All around me. I am the cheese.
We gotta do a cover.
I am the juicy melon.
KOA covers
the juicy apple in the story.
KOA covers that one song in Madoka Magica.
We need to.
It'll be a hit. Get 1 million views.
I think it will be a hit. Started with the letter S.
We just need 2 more people.
Yeah, we need people with real musical talent.
Bullshit.
Philip says, let's get the likes up for our boy so he can resurrect C in his final form. My final form? You're not supposed to know about that. Forms. No, I mean, don't pay attention. Moving on. Nothing happened. You didn't see anything.
What is your final form? Is it the one that finally admits his love for Vladilena?
Okay, those allegations, for one, are preposterous, unproven, and simply allegations. May I add, allegations that come from not credible sources. Sources that I heard were in touch with secret agencies that are controlling freedom of speech.
Sound like a liar.
Yeah, well, in that case, link in the chat below, which is the proof. Once again, I always have to link that, probably once a month, once every week.
That was
Of
edited by the
YC is
aliens.
liar.
That was edited by the communist aliens.
The government. It's the damn government.
It is.
They manipulating everything.
Speaking of that, rest in peace to the voice actor of Dale Gribble from King of the Hill. He passed away.
Oh, he did?
A couple days ago.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I did see something like that.
I didn't even hear
That
about
was so
that.
sad. Yeah, that was so sad when I heard about that. I was just crushed because, well, he was a really big character in the show. All about conspiracies and aliens and government and just, he's Dale Gribble.
Yeah, a character ahead of its time.
Pocket Sand.
I think. Yeah, Pocket Sand. Rusty Shackelford.
Yep, he always used that when Winston was like, "My name's not Dale, it's Rusty Shackelford."
Oh man, King of the Hill, best anime from Japan of all time.
Yeah.
Anything else? That it?
All the news I have. Slow news day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of announcements last week, and this week, nothing.
Yeah. It's a little shot of this week.
I should ask Dan from Danataz Media. Should be like, yo, Dan, give me the news. What's the people saying on the streets in Chibi's Discord server? We can just make that news.
He's gonna say, "I'll give you the 411. Ready?" It makes me long and hard.
Oh my god. Unproven. All right. Well, let's now go ahead and get into our first show of the evening, Nakama Club, for Fate Zero episode 17 and 18?
Or I think it's 18
and 19.
18
Yep.
and 19.
You almost had it.
All right. These episodes are fucking awesome too. This is continuing sort of the upward. I wouldn't say upward trend, but like, I don't know, the climax of the second season of Fate Zero. These episodes focus primarily on Kiritsugu's backstory, from him being a child to him being a young adult. And it's quite fascinating because it kind of resolves something that I think we saw in season 1, where we saw a quick flashback to Natalia, who was like, yo, you got rib bullets and it can like kill people really easily. And so we kind of, now we know the origin story of that, and it really ends in a quite shocking and tragic death. But we'll discuss that here in a moment. Before that, what did you guys think about episode 17 or 18 of Fate Zero? Don't know why I said I'm like one episode.
You just stuck on 17, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Episode 18. What did you guys think about that episode? Because that was, I think, one of the more fucked up episodes. I mean, they were both fucked up, but what did you guys think?
I definitely think both episodes go hand in hand with Kiritsugu's past. And yeah, these two episodes are probably some of my favorite episodes of Fate Zero. They're just so well done. It touches base on how Kiritsugu once had a dream, and because Saber kind of like talked to him that last episode where it's like, didn't you ever want to be a hero? Didn't you ever? And then, we see that he's a broken man but I was a little curious where that came from. And now we kind of see it with, what was her name? Was her name Shirley?
Yeah, Shirley.
Which one?
Shirley.
Their childhood friend.
The childhood friend that
turned into a vampire.
Which I thought they were zombies. I don't know any vampires that act like zombies.
Well, there is some sort of lore in terms of vampires and zombies that relate the two to each other. But this is more of a this is another thing where if you're knowledgeable on the other Fate universe series called Tsukihime, they talk a lot about the apostles and that sort of thing, because the main character is a vampire in that series.
Huh.
So
all right, well, and
as well, we see the church in the episode. That's another thing that carries over from Tsukihime. That's originally from that series, the church. And he's the church is big in all of Fate, but
yeah, it was just really kind of heartbreaking to see Shirley. Well, she messed around with, I guess, Kiritsugo's dad's formulas. So then she turned into a vampire, and he had a choice to kill her, and he didn't. And that is something that kind of like held back to where he like regretted that, because a lot of people died because of that, which goes hand in hand with his feelings of just, if it means killing one person to save many, I'll do it type thing. And you kind of see that in the next episode, which was 19. And yeah, just all in all, this is very tragic. And also, didn't even bat an eye. He just killed his dad like nothing. Just, all right, Dad, you gotta go. You gotta get put down. And I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but he picked up that pistol and fired like it was nothing.
Yeah, it's very fucked up.
Gun would be heavy. But yeah, really, really crazy episode. These two, really crazy.
What'd you think, Satsuki?
So I have a weird opinion about these two episodes. It's something that when I first watched these episodes, I really, really enjoyed them. But now that I have because I already knew what Kiritsugu was, and these episodes didn't catch me as a shock because I already knew how it ended with. Because I think the big thing of Kiritsugu shooting down a plane with Natalia in it is like the big shock factor. And because I already knew that was a thing that happened, I kind of just looked at things for. I was looking for something very specific with Kiritsugu, because we had to ask ourselves, why did we get these episodes? Like, why now? And the reason why we got these episodes is because it was supposed to show the contrast to the person Kiritsugu was that we saw in a previous episode in 17, where we see him ruthlessly orchestrating the murder of Kanef and Salu with Maya's help, of course. We're seeing the contrast, or we're seeing how he became that way. And I think we needed more than those two episodes actually to properly explain everything there is with his character, because I do think it's a little sudden for Kiritsugu to go from where he was terrified of killing Shirley to just brutally killing his father, like stab him, shot him a couple of times. And then from that point, he just goes on an adventure with Natalia. And I think that especially, I wish they focused more on that. Like they showed them that their relationship more, because just from an emotional standpoint with her dying, like, again, it's a big shock factor, the fact that he would go to those extremes to save everybody. And again, like EA said, they're related to him feeling like it was a mistake to not kill Shirley then, and what was the aftermath of all that with the village, everybody turned into these zombies and whatnot. But I feel like there could have been that would have been so much better if we had like 2 more episodes with their relationship being honed in on, seeing how Kiritsugu felt, because Kiritsugu was her a mom and whatnot, and we don't really get that relationship. We just kind of fast forward to, and we see like bits and pieces here and there, but we kind of just fast forward to that relationship being established, being a thing. And by the time the episode ends, it's just like Natalia didn't really have that much impact on me. She cool, hot vampire hunter lady, but yeah, I just wish that this backstory, because with 2 episodes, if this was in manga format, this would be about half a volume. I think this backstory needed an entire volume to hit all the beats it needed to. I'm not to say that this is bad or anything like that. I just felt like there was potential that was missed out on it not being longer.
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way, but I actually agree with that. I think it needed maybe like at least another episode just to see that motherly and son, that family bond that they were talking about. I mean, I guess Urobuchi was like, they'll probably get it, whatever. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see that. Nice. It would be interesting too, because we don't see a lot of tenderness in Kiritsugu, like pretty much at all, ever.
Yeah. I think episode 18 is the most you've seen him smile. If he's ever smiled before then.
I think, the first time, what's funny? I think the first time we ever see Kiritsugu in the entire series is in the visual novel. He's like an unnamed character, I think. He's just like, Shiro's just like, I remember my dad. And like, you just see him like laying in a bed dying of like cancer or something. So that's his first image, and he's pretty much just always constantly in despair.
Yeah, you can see it in his eyes. He was born for it.
Yeah.
I need to see Kiritsugu shop. Like, at what point where did he just go, yeah, I'm going to wear all black and be sad boy? Because he wasn't like this before.
When you said see him shop, I thought you were talking about at like a grocery store. Where he's like, cool, man, guess I'm going to have just bread and meat and cheese.
Just the nutrients.
Just
the essentials.
Right. No seasoning. No mayo.
No caffeine.
Coffee, black.
He's definitely getting. Kiritsugu is definitely the type of dude. Like you're a kid asking for McDonald's. He pulls up the drive-through, gets his black coffee, leaves.
Do you want a Happy Meal,
kids?
I was want a Happy Meal, sir? No. Even if I got a kids meal, I don't want no damn Happy Meal.
Would they really be? Would their happiness be maintained with this meal?
Yeah, right. Can you actually be happy with this little fucking googly-eyed thing?
What's happiness? What is that word? What does it mean?
That also makes you think, like, what about Kiritsugu did Saber fall in love with? Just because it's
Saber fell in love with him?
I said Saber. I meant Iris.
I was about to say Saber. I don't think.
Maybe I was reading too many doujins.
The son, but not the father.
But yeah, because I don't know exactly when Iris met Kiritsugu, but you see how, because she still defends him and talks about, because before like episode 17, when there was tension between Saber and Kiritsugu, she will always defend him and say, just believe in his dream, like how I believe in it. And it makes me wonder, like, when did Kiritsugu feel or act vulnerable around her? Because especially after when he kills Natalia along with everybody else on that plane, it's hard for me to imagine him having a tender moment with Iris after all of that. Because he basically just turns into a crazy man after that.
I'd imagine for him, it was like he accepted her, but that was it went probably for him. That's as much as he could do. And for Iris is probably like, even with Iris, I don't feel like she like totally loves him. It's like this weird relationship. I don't know how to describe how Iris feels, but Iris, I think, understands probably what Kiritsugu went through and is like, okay, like, I'll put up with this because I am, after all, a man-made human that lives in a castle all alone. So, I mean, what other
Princess
options does
Peach.
she have? Yeah, sort of. And so is her daughter. So,
Yeah, he probably loves his daughter.
oh yeah, he very clearly loves his daughter. I think that's probably because of his relationship with his father. Is very cold and like almost like business like master and apprentice more than father and son. And he probably has trauma from all that. Well, clearly he does, but he probably remembers that and probably is like, I'm not going to do that to Iris feel.
That makes sense.
Or Elias feel.
Makes sense.
And then he sleeps with Maya.
I mean,
He's a complicated
Yeah.
man, EA. He drinks black coffee,
I mean,
okay?
I mean, he has some kind of riz. You know,
Yeah.
if he can get Iris and Maya,
Yeah.
I mean,
Maya's
I'm-
kind of like a female version of him, so he picked like the exact woman for him.
You.
oh, okay, well then, he loves himself.
Yeah. A little narcissistic? No, probably not. He probably hates himself. But yeah, I just love the moment. So I love where when you realize everything's gone to shit on the plane, where the guy's carrying all the bugs inside of him, and she doesn't account for that. Like,
Ew.
yeah, very disgusting. So she kind of like screwed up, really, in a way. And the moment she realizes that they got out of his body and what is happening, and she just plays it cool the entire time and is like, yeah, I'm gonna land this plane. And I think she knew she was gonna die, because
No, she totally did.
yeah, because right at the end, when the plane explodes from the Stinger missile, she smiles. That's like the last thing we see of her.
Are you sure that wasn't her flesh burning? And that's just the lip curling just out of reaction. Just
Damn you, Kiritsugu!
I curse you from the just like Lancer.
No, she's right. She definitely knew what was coming.
Yeah.
She was basically, because how I interpret the scene, is she's kind of giving them an update as to where she is, how far away she is from. It was one of those things to where they both understood the situation. Because if she's been trapped, like, think about this. Because I think at that point he was almost to adulthood. I don't know exactly how old he was, but they've been traveling with each other for years upon years. I would imagine almost a decade. So she would understand Kiritsugu's MO, how he would react to a situation like this. And his whole thing has been save as many people as I can. She knew the situation she was in with all the infested people on the plane. So I think she knew that Kiritsugu wasn't going to risk other people dying if that plane landed. Which, thinking about it, if she did land a plane, he probably could have got her out of that situation without them destroying everything. Because if she landed it correctly, like no damages to the plane or anything like that, she just lands it correctly. All she has to do is leave the cockpit, and then you can kill everybody. But
yeah, and they got.
I mean, it's
magic and
cooler to
stuff.
shoot a plane on a boat, so you got to look cool first.
I mean, also as well, they're so small, they're bugs, and they're in the airtight tube. So maybe there is some risk of opening it, and one gets out, and all you need is one create these dead apostles. So, and that one creates many. So maybe that's also what he was thinking. He just couldn't take the risk.
Hopefully, no bugs survived from that explosion.
Yeah, that would really suck.
Stop! You killed me, bitch. I need to go. I'm coming for you.
Yes, sir.
Like he gets all bugs. Like every bug is now out to get Kiritsugu.
No, have mercy.
You killed my cousins.
You killed my great second nephew's daughter's uncle.
I don't even know who that is.
Also like as well how they focus on episode 19 when Kiritsugu is taken in by Natalia, and he's trying to make himself useful and in trying to just trying not to be useless and try to find his place in this new family he's about to create with Natalia and stuff. And it's kind of
boing.
Oh my god, I don't really like that.
Yeah, the hot vampire hunter lady had him so enamored he underwent this surgery to get his ribs, I don't even know, powdered for some bullets. How did that conversation go? Hey, let me just check your ribs real quick.
No, I know exactly how that conversation went. Just lay down, baby. And he just went, oh, and then just fell over, and then next thing he knew, he was under anesthesia and woke up and went, what the hell did you do to me?
Are you suggesting
you got powder ribs now?
Are you suggesting he has an Oedipus complex?
I mean, I don't even know what that means, but I think
attracted to your his mom.
Oh, did it show what his mom looked like? Like his real mom? Because the only thing
if you're anime MC, you're only allowed one parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was born.
So we don't even know. Okay, well then, so for him to have that Oedipus thing, he would have to at least know what his mom looked like, I would think. Or maybe it's because he didn't have a mom that he wants to do her. I don't know why we're having this conversation, but
I mean, maybe. Hey, you asked where the fashion came from. Natalia wore basically the exact same thing.
Yeah, he definitely took after her with wearing the outfit.
Doesn't have the same hair though.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense though wearing the all black just because they're assassins. So it's funny to make fun of Kiritsugu for being edgy or whatever, but it actually makes sense.
I also love the quote, and I think Satsi will get this, but Natalia says over the intercoms, "Are you or no? That wasn't it was like they're in the middle of a war zone, and like a kid and his parent break away and they get shot, and Kiri sees this and tries to go and save them, and Natalia stops him and is like, "Are you trying to be a hero or something?"
Yeah,
I felt like Orobochi was like was taking a shot at the original writer of Fate Stay Night with that, because that's a whole thing in the original Fate Stay Night visual novel. The whole gotta be a hero thing.
I think in general he has a very like nihilistic approach with his stories, because this is present in Madoka Magica too. Like, think about how Sayaka was killing herself to be a magical girl, or anybody else for that matter, and how they're kind of beat down to the point where they realize.
And I told her to have my money.
Oh, the guys on the train or the bus. Yeah. That bitch. Why were they talking like that? That bitch.
No one
talks. She have my money.
No one talks like that at all in any.
Yeah, that's how you gotta treat a hoe, yo. What the fuck?
What do you mean?
And I gave her my pan.
I talk like this all the time. Hey, you want to go hang out at you want to go hang out at
Arby's?
A bar? When
The
we
fact
go
that
to
we remember
McDonald's.
those two random side characters is insane.
I mean, she's literally having a nervous breakdown, and these guys are like, "Yo," and I was like, "Bitch," and she, what did you called her that? Yeah, to her face. Huh.
You can't let these bitches like what? Yeah, like that's his approach with Madoka Magica, and you can kind of see the same thing in Psychopaths. Although in Psychopaths is more of a question of facing what's your own, like your morals versus ethics. But I guess that's the same approach with Kiritsugu, because I guess ethnically it's not right for him to do what he did, but morally it makes sense for him because again, his whole thing is saving as many people as possible. So that's kind of how he copes and deals with everything, because he feels that he is doing it for the greater cause. Oh, and that's kind of what I wanted too with his relationship with Natalia, because him going to follow her into this whole assassin gig, and they kind of imply that the targets Natalia are going after are bad people. But I wish they like again. I wish they focus more on these jobs, so Kiritsugu learns why it's important that she kills these people. Because I never really got the impression, other than her saying that one line, that she was doing this for the betterment of humanity.
Yeah, there's probably some like random tucked away lore in some crevice of this series where we get who this guy was, exactly what he was doing, and the effect of Natalia and Kiritsugu taking this guy down. They have
hot, though, I'll listen.
That's all it comes down to is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Moral dilemma, hot.
Nope. Yep. Whatever you say, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's how he went under the surgery. She just said, "Lay down, close your eyes," and he just said, "Okay."
Okay, boobs. Also, final thing I want to say is I love at the end where after he kills Natalia, he's like, "Did you see that, Shirley?" And then he just breaks down. I don't know if you guys are watching the dub or the Japanese dub, but okay, yeah. Matthew Mercer, amazing performance in this moment. Probably his best performance as Kiritsugu, I think, is this episode. Actually, these two episodes. So,
yeah, it was really, really good.
I love that part where he said, I've had it with these monkey fighting bugs on this Monday to Friday plane. When he said that, I got chills. All my hairs on my arms stood up.
He then said he had to open up some windows.
Yeah, great times.
yeah, wouldn't the pressure of opening up an airplane at all probably killed the bugs immediately?
I don't know. They're magical bugs, so maybe not. But I just felt weird. Well, she talked about her losing her edge. You know, it's the whole thing of, I became a parent, so I lost, or I became more good, so I lost my,
my riz.
Yeah, I lost my abilities or whatever. Because I found it weird that she didn't have a contingency plan on the plane not landing. You would think that would be the one thing that she would prepare for. Like, what if this plane just doesn't land? What if he decides to just, I don't know, like suicide bomb himself and, take out the plane? But yeah, which I don't know how the hell she got to the cockpit, but
yeah, that's the one thing. If she could get to the cockpit, you'd think she'd be able to get out of the plane. But once again, I guess it's one of those things. It's not really about her getting out. It's not letting the bugs get out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I agree with your assessment, Satsi. That's very smart. Anything else in this episode?
This is what happens when you lose your first girlfriend. Happened to me.
Yeah. The exact same thing.
Literally everything. The only thing that was different is that literally the only thing that wasn't different is I didn't kill my dad. That's it. That's it. Everything though, yeah, it's kind of like my
You were
autobiography.
raised in the jungle of
Yeah,
of an offshore island.
hot vampire hunter lady, bugs, shooting down a plane with RPG on a boat, all black clothing, pretty much everything.
Wow. You think you know someone?
Yeah, it hurt. It really hurt.
Hey, I'll give you that. Let's now switch on over to our first show of the main show of KOA. Let's talk about Tensei.
Tensei.
So I don't know how to feel about this episode, you guys.
Underrated sex.
I was going into this, and I really wanted to hate this episode. I really did, because the first thing they showed, like one of the first scenes is like Ellie and Elise, and I just immediately went, ugh. I just hate.
Thank
this
God
character.
she was in it. She was only in the episode for like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I was like,
Yeah,
this is my.
that's how long he lasted.
you won't last 5 minutes playing this game.
Oh my!
I love those ads.
I just don't know why we need to keep seeing Ellie and Elise be promiscuous. Like, we get it already. Where we are.
We gotta sell merch.
How many? Even then, you could just have her do I don't know, like a sexy pose. That would be so much better.
I mean, given what we've seen of her character, you don't have to show her at all, and we will understand what she was doing in the meantime. I don't think, because I complained about her on a different stream, and somebody told me, well, yeah, that they're talking about her curse or whatever, and I put into doubt whether the validity of the curse. But the thing is, even if that's the case, people saying, yeah, she without that she's going to die. Okay, people are going to die in the show if they don't eat, if they don't breathe. Do we see them eat and breathe every scene that we see? Look at them. No, we don't need to see Ellie and Ease fuck every man on the screen for us to get the point.
Actually, Sansky, and there's just...
There was one scene when you scan it and go super slow.
Every episode has at least one character eating something. It's clearly established.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's not really exciting, but I don't really have anything to complain about because she was just there and she left, and I was like, oof.
Yeah.
Oof, thank God.
Rest of the episode,
You came and went.
Zenoba, this is the one. I'm not going to say he's good. He just didn't suck. And I think that's because they didn't. So there was one suckage. There was one suckage moment. That was him naked humping the statue. But it was in the corner of the screen. It was in the 15%, on the right. It was. I can easily just cover my right eye with my hand and not see it. I'm not defending. What I'm trying to say.
He didn't suck except for the part where he was fucking naked.
Listen, I don't. Okay, I should have thought about this more. But okay, Zenoba wasn't. He wasn't horrible, right? Even Zenoba.
I mean, he sucks though.
He sucks.
I don't even mean as a character. I just mean like he literally sucks. Like he can't do shit.
Yeah. I think that's the joke, but I don't think it's a funny joke. So I guess that's subjective. But I really loved in this episode the Sylphiette and Rudy stuff, because Rudy starts to question his own sexuality. Like, why? Because she's doing things, and he's reacting to them in ways where he's like, kind of like starting to get, feelings for her, like having a reaction to her, right? And
yeah,
he immediately is like, I know I don't swing that way, but what's going on here? And it's that introspection is where I think Rudy is at his best. Not the whole I got ED stuff and ha ha ha. This was really, really solid.
Honestly, that section, although I felt like they were kind of retreading things that we already seen before, with Sylvie kind of teasing that she knows Rudy, but Rudy doesn't know. You know, they did that whole thing again. But I thought that was an interesting it was an interesting monologue from Rudy questioning his sexuality, because what he's getting with Sophie, because he thinks she's a man, is he's not looking at her because of the sexual stuff this time. It's an emotional affection. So that's interesting for his character, because he's kind of like we get to see a different side of him because of the horniness not being the element anymore, and now he's exploring attraction in a more healthy means, you know, or like least or less lustful, I should say. So I actually like that bit. They were together for probably like 8 minutes in the episode, and then that's when we focus on Zenoba stuff. But yeah, I like that section in it, even if I felt like some of the stuff, the conversation with Sylvie and Rudy was a little redundant. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, solid stuff. What do you think, EA?
I mean, surprisingly enough, yeah, that stuff was really, really good. Like, I still don't understand why he doesn't think that. Why she's I don't know. Like, just picking up that. It's like, oh, maybe he's just very feminine dude. But I like just some of the things that just like go through your mind. You don't think maybe, but I guess if they're taking it on as their man. But to me, it was the whole. I guess when she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm allowed to stay in the girls' dorm or whatever." I'm thinking. It's not going up inside. He's just like, oh, well, maybe he's just got special privileges or whatever. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess he wouldn't know because she's got different color hair. He can't really see the glasses or the eyes with the glasses on. I don't know.
I wonder if that's... Well, I wonder if that also maybe because maybe he's starting to grow attracted to her.
Yeah. It might be that too. And it is a very interesting concept where he's just like, I don't swing that way, but maybe with Fitz, I would. But if we were having a little drink and we got to know each other, I'd maybe pull down his pants and touch his penis. but like that stuff was good. Mm-hmm. Which was the 8 minutes of the episode. The remaining 16 was ass on top of ass.
Really?
Like, yes. Because
I feel like
Zenoba is a horrible character. He's annoying. I don't like anything about him. I mean, when the moments where he just stands there and does nothing are where he shines. But when he speaks,
that's actually kind of true.
When he speaks and when he reacts and when he's just really obnoxiously loud going, I just want him to die. It's I don't know. I remember seeing him in season 1 for that one episode, and I said, I hope we never see this character again. Now we're gonna see him in all of season 2.
Oh man,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they're gonna focus on Fauna.
We have Elenese in this fucking season 2.
Yeah,
and that's not a pun. I was literally just saying that because I was disgusted. So I'm just like, we got her. We got nerd dude that can't do anything. Everyone, I don't know. I feel like just other than Rudy and Sylvie, all the other supporting casts are boring or annoying. Like, season 1, even though it had its problems, definitely benefited with having a great supporting cast. I think that's what made it that much better whenever you watch season 1. You know, you can go back and replay and go, Eris, the one dude, you know, the shape, Ryujerd, all these other guys, like, great, awesome supporting cast. Right now, we have a fucking slave girl for some reason. We got a nerd and a whore. It's just I don't know what to think of this show right now. It's just it could definitely be better. It's not the worst thing in the world because that, you know, it definitely has its moments, but so far with these 6 episodes, it ain't looking good for your old pal Rudy.
So, am I the only one that felt weird that Rudy didn't really have a reaction to going to a slave market?
No one did.
Well, I mean, because he said that he'd been in places like that before, which I don't remember when that happened, but I just, I thought that was kind of weird too, because it's like, oh, you've seen stuff like that? Yeah, I've seen boobs and naked young children. Ugh.
I think what he was talking about specifically was when, because they were all naked or whatever, and Sylphie like seen like their, you know, the package, and I think Rudy was referring to that, you know, saying like, I've had sex before. I think that's what he was talking about. Slave market.
Yeah. You're right.
No, because he said he's never done anything, like he's never, you know. So that was weird to me, because them not having reaction makes sense because they've lived in this world. Him not having no reaction to this, considering he was a Japanese man, who would know like the ramifications of slavery and
it'd be nice
all
to
of
hear
that.
his narrator there too. A good narrator. So why not?
That was kind of weird to me. He's just like, normal.
Yeah, normal. Get a 6-year-old dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf girl. They had to name her because in their culture they don't have names. They have, I guess it's the name of the families and their social standing and stuff. And then at 7 they get their names. That's really cool. Once again,
from which they dwell from.
Yeah, never going to say
give you up
of the world building. That's another KO. That should be another one on our cover album. But I don't know. I like the dwarf girl stuff. I like that whole thing because it was a nice world building moment. It was very interesting. You can just go in and buy slaves. It kind of reminded me of Shield Hero in a way. Oddly enough,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I thought that was weird too when that happened. When he was just like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll buy me."
The Decrepit Storm says it the best. I'm sorry, but how does anyone think it's a good idea to let Zenobu have a slave girl?
Yes, I thought about that same. I thought about the same thing. He talked about killing his baby brother by accident. Obviously, Zenobu's a person. We talked about this very thing before. He's not intentionally doing this stuff. He's not malicious, but I think there should have been a little more thought as to having the well-being of a little girl in the hands of somebody this incapable of taking care of anybody, let alone himself.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
If he breaks it, we can buy him a new one.
Yeah, pretty much. That's probably the mentality with everybody's like sociopaths.
I'm actually quite interested in how they're going to have Juliet play a role throughout the season, because what we saw of her was actually kind of interesting. They, Zenoba aside, they had her like basically be sort of like an apprentice role, helping, take up Zenoba and his like all of his trash and stuff. And it really seems like they're trying to instill some sense of normalcy in her. I wonder as well if we're going to get some of her family knowledge. Because didn't they say that her entire family was sold off? And then as well, the really good line, really good moment with her, which was like, where she just says, "I don't want to die," and Rudy's like, "That's good enough. She may not want to live,
That's
but
good enough.
not wanting to die is, is good enough."
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool distinction. It's a really nice moment.
Yeah, that was a pretty great moment. Him just, like looking at her eyes and kind of seeing a mirror to his past self, because we saw like the depression arc Rudy is going through, and even him saying, because I'll give the show credit for this, even though I still have a problem with him having a lack of reaction to going to this place in the first place. He did talk about the possibility of him just buying her out and giving her a job and basically letting her live free. And he talked about how that probably wouldn't benefit her because, like he was dealing with a couple years ago, he had everything he needed. He was free and everything, but he just didn't have any will to live. And because of that, he put himself in jeopardy a lot of times, and probably the same thing would happen to her, because he dealt with the same thing. So
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting.
It would have been very nice of him to just. It's like, oh, you want to die? Here you go.
He's a sweetheart.
Oh, what a sweetheart. He just killed her so that she didn't have to suffer. So I pulled out my gun. Oh, God, not the gun again.
Wisteria says 15 years of life experience you would get used to it. Dwarf actually got their name from their expertise. He didn't think about it. He accidentally killed his brother. So, some nice helpful info. Thanks, Wisteria.
I disagree with that 15 years of life experience, because it's not
Whoopsie daisy.
It's not 15 years of life experience dealing with slavery. You know what I mean? He's lived in this world for 15 years, but it's not as if he's been dealing with people in slavery for that long.
That's true.
He came from a family that was well off. So for the first, when did he first go traveling? Like when he was
10?
I thought it was younger than that.
Yeah, it was like, I thought it was like 6 or 7 or no 8. 7 or 8.
Yeah,
right?
probably 7. They're old enough at that point. They can fucking pay rent and shit.
Paul's like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to go and cheat. Come on.
I need to cheat in peace. You're interrupting me. Yeah, I'm not saying he's never encountered a slave before, or he hasn't encountered a situation like this before. The problem is him just like, oh yeah, it's cool. You would think it would affect him, because a lot of different things that you don't think would affect him affects him because of his past experience being a regular Japanese guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he remembers the bullying very well. Bullying, being shamed, being picked on. Slavery? It's a hangnail for him, It's no big deal.
Hanging from my cuticle.
It's like, slavery.
Good shopping date place, though.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to go on a date, it's like, look, honey, she got big, massive boobies and she's got muscles. Let's get her. I don't know. We have one at home. We have one at home, and it's the Kirkland brand. Different slave.
Wait. So what brand would Arnhide be?
Oh God.
She'd be Crave slave, right?
She would be the very cereal kind. I don't know, shredded wheat.
Nah, she'd definitely have to be the Crave slave. I will not accept her otherwise.
So what do we see going on with Juliet? Because I don't, as of right now, I don't see the big picture with what we're going to get from her character, considering their reasoning, obviously, I don't think it's going to be the reason why she got introduced, but their whole thing, her whole purpose is to make sculptures for Zenoba. So
maybe she
What
learns that
thickens.
talent. That's not good for this show. You can't.
We went from ED to making fucking nerd models. Sorry, no offense, Sasuke, because I know you got some. I see your girl right there.
You're not nerds. Your art.
No, yours are fine. The ones that Zenobu wants.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Zenoba's
I don't
weird.
even know what to say.
But if I had to guess, here's my theory on the potential. I think is that maybe she learns how to make some of these sculptures and she gets noticed, and her getting noticed helps them in their standing in the school in some way, which then maybe introduces them to, I don't know, maybe like a contest to make these sculptures, because now more people are getting into it, because we even saw Sylphie trying to learn how to do it. So maybe this thing spreads, right? This invention, so to speak.
This disease. I mean, what?
This disease spreads, and it affects the school in some way, and they, or maybe they just get noticed by someone.
I don't know. I was thinking, what is the possibility of her having something to do with this whole teleportation plot? But I don't. The only thing I can think of is maybe it'll have something to do with the door species itself that we don't know about them yet, and maybe that'll have a big role in it. I do like the idea that you said, like maybe she helps their standing in the school. Because one thing about Rudius right now in the school is that everybody hates him. So
For no reason.
yeah, maybe they'll see his relationship with her and maybe change their opinion on him. Because which I don't know how the fuck Rudy has all this time in the day, because he's able to do his, like, schoolwork whenever he's supposed to, do his spells, help out with sculpting, teach people how to read, and then everything else.
Yeah,
Get it on with Fritz.
You know
what
what?
were we saying, see?
Oh, I was going to say, Wisteria says in the chat, Dwarf actually perished during the past wars, so for years there hasn't been a prodigy craft maker during this time. So that's interesting, a little bit of lore that kind of helps support my thing. But I also want to say real quick, if the stream for any reason drops out, it's actually storming right now. So
See, why do you always have to be storming?
I don't know. It's where I live, like literally.
You gotta bring it this way.
I know.
When I look outside and you know what I see? I see wonderful and beautiful sun.
I'll buy a box fan. I'll just point it your direction. I'll just put it outside. and...
Thank you. I appreciate it. Pour me a drink there, Sasuke.
Gotcha.
What is that?
Wild turkey.
Oh,
Whiskey bourbon.
I remember Wild Turkey was one of my first shots at a bar. Somebody bought me one, and it was pretty smooth. I almost threw up when I took the shot, too. I had to, like, not take a chaser. I'm just like... and then I swallowed it. So good! They gave me a double. And I was like, you asshole.
That's pretty... Yeah, this drink is pretty dangerous because it is, like you said, it is very smooth, which you want out of a drink, but because it's 50%, I feel like it's easy to misjudge your limits on this drink specifically and go overboard because it's so easy to drink.
Yeah, I don't think I had Wild Turkey since then. I know I don't have vodka anymore because, well, last time I did, I went skinny dipping, but that's another story for another time.
You guys should do a Patreon exclusive podcast where you guys talk about your experience with alcohol.
Oh, I'd have
Oh.
stories upon stories.
Not even
Oh.
like actual experiences when drunk. Just like maybe some things you've learned about alcohol.
Oh, I would be down for that. I mean,
Me
we've had
too.
these conversations a couple of different times, but I would definitely be down with that because they're, especially for the youth, I would say, for people who haven't drunk or aren't of age, there are a lot of misconceptions about people's state when they're drunk. And
Yep.
as a person who's been drunk a couple of times, yeah, they definitely lie to you on TV shows or wherever it may be. Maybe even parents, you know. He just gets like that when he's drunk.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
he's really a good boy. As
So-
he's throwing fucking chairs.
So if you want the potential of that, not saying we're gonna do it yet. We'll have to think about that. But
We're doing it.
okay, we're doing it. Subscribe. If you become a patron, it's only EA Satsuki. What is the price for the patron?
Let me get the my book out here. Let's see. Carry the one. It's a total of $1.
Yeah, $1. Patreon.com/King of Anime. We're gonna as well have some.
I dropped it in the chat.
Yep, it's in the chat. Click on it, copy and paste whatever you need to do. Get over there, become a patron, support us financially. Yep, yeah, we're gonna start having very soon content come out for it. So look forward to that. Wisteria says, last thing I just wanted to add, just giving you an idea of what could possibly happen, is that this figurine storyline of Rudy and Zenoba is the university's greatest investment. So I think we talked about this last season, because this may have been something else, but I think we talked about, even on this show with season 1, when they talked about the figures, that we proposed that maybe Rudy could get rich off of these figures and make a business out of it.
We probably did say something like that just because of how well made they are.
All I know is Zenobu was just like very, very high praise upon it and just really loved it for some reason. Well, no, I know why, but he's like, look at the panties, the detail, the lining. It's just look at it. It's
Muy bien.
Yeah, if he was Italian, he would be saying lots of grazie and si magnifico. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on the show before we get into our killer pass?
I'm excited. This is the first time y'all gonna see this. First time.
Let's hope I
First
don't
time.
fuck it up.
I'm excited too.
All right. So, we created a new layout for this. Oh my god, the chat's huge. I fucked it up! No! Okay, so this is where we're going to select our killer pass. If a show is worthy of being passed or killed, and you'll see what happens when we'll show both of them after we decide whatever we decide. So, Satsuki, you're up first. What are you thinking? Do we think Mushoku Tensei season 2 gets a pass or a kill?
Courtesy pass.
Oh,
Courtesy pass.
Courtesy. Wow.
I will say with these episodes, I feel like if you were here, C, and we got to episode 3 and we had this judgment, it would have definitely got killed by me.
Oh,
No
for
question.
for sure. 3 was the pinnacle of suck when it came to this season.
But I do see the potential with us being in this university and us learning about teleportation, and especially with this plot line too. It's weird because if they don't focus on the ED stuff, because he's in the ED state, we don't have the pervy stuff, which is what I really dislike about Mushoku Tensei. So it actually has good potential wise because they can focus on things that I really don't like in a series. But I mean, it's a courtesy pass because I think up to this point, this series hasn't been my favorite at all. It's been a very big mixed bag, and I don't think it's even hit the highs that season 1 has hit, like nowhere near it yet. So it hasn't given me that much confidence to pass it. That's why it's a courtesy pass. And I will say that's the only one courtesy pass per show. Only time it's happening. So if the next 3 episodes don't give me confidence to say it's going to be good moving forward, then that's that.
Decrepit Storm said in the chat that we need some overly suspenseful music. So I have some. I just put it on. I can't hear it. So if it's too loud, just tell me. But it's
Let
called...
me see if I can hear it.
It's by Tom Retesic. It's called Fear. This is for a horror vibe. So we're going to scare you all.
Is it playing?
Should be.
I'm scared.
I don't hear anything.
You gotta wait a moment.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go next.
Yep.
Yeah, this freaking series sucks. This has been painful to watch. 3 was the king of suck. Like, that was almost in a way where it was just laughably bad. But I guess let me talk about the most recent episodes. Rudy goes to this place. Everybody hates him. You know, everybody hates Chris except with insert Rudy into everything. I don't know. I did like the supporting cast sucks. Sophie and Rudy is the only best part about it, and it's the most interesting part. There's just not enough of it, and I feel like we're not going to have enough of it. It'll be there, but then of course we'll have naked weeaboo shut stuff, and then we'll have just other moments where it's just, I don't know, cat girls and dog people and cousins hating each other. You know, it killing it.
Oh, unfortunately. Oh my God, Satsuki. This fits with the horror music.
You did what?
I didn't kill it.
It's all up to see.
Well, I feel like for me, usually you guys can... I'm more of the forgiving kind. More the glass half full kind of...
Oh my God.
Is that you, God?
Yeah, it was about to strike them down for lying.
He was gonna say, I'm forgiving. Okay, I'm not that
C forgives, I don't.
I'm okay, I'm just a damn liar, okay?
Yeah, so, yeah. Strike me down, Zeus. You don't have the balls.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
I'm a little more forgiving. Is that the music or the storm? That's the storm.
Yeah, that was
music.
a storm, decrepit storm.
That was you.
It was a very decrepit storm. It was. I actually agree with both of you guys. I feel like I'm in the middle somewhere lost. I think I'm closer to Satsuki, but I'm with EA. Like, this is usually I'm not like this, Mushoku Tensei. Usually I'm like, oh, you know, like you guys said, we had a good cast, a supporting cast. However, with this season, I think EA is on the money. Like, I think if we do get further in this show, I do think we're going to find things that we enjoy. Clearly, I mean, it's going to have 24 episodes, of course. there's going to be good things. However, we're going to be fed Ellie Nalise. We're going to be fed, you know, maybe more assholes. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. However, there's also the stuff with Rudy and Sylphie that I really enjoy. There's the potential of the Rudy storyline playing out. There's potential of maybe, I think it's about to storm or really hard here in a second, but I think there's a lot of potential with the school setting that we just haven't tapped into. I think the Juliet stuff is not exactly the most compelling thing ever. Like, I'm not going to hang my hat on it, but I will say, like, just as like I'll say, just like, you know, throw it in there, just like I don't hate it. I don't think there's anything yet that I've seen that makes me go, I'm excited necessarily, but I do like the potential of it and where it could go. Not that I'm counting that in my final assessment at all, because it's so early on. Maybe nothing. But there's a part of me watching this episode today where I was like, if I just kill this, I don't have to deal with Ellie Nalise. I don't have to, because like, I don't know if you guys know, but when I watch this in the Discord, anytime we're watching Mushoku Tensei, I'm groaning. Audibly groaning. And it's not because I'm putting up, you know, I'm not trying to entertain people. That's actually how I feel when I watch season 2. And I feel like the show has sort of not lost its way. I just think it's the potential of that, but I think it's more likely that I'm going to do the glass half full thing, and I'm going to say that we just need to have it play out a bit. But I hate that. I hate that so much. It should be good from the start, right? It should give you hope from the start. So I think I'm with Satsi. I'm gonna give it like the most courtesy pass you could think of. We will see if we make it to if we make it past episode 9. We'll see. But yeah, I'm giving it the courtesy pass. Just because I want to see, I think in the next 3 episodes, I think we will see. What are you doing? I'll do it in a second. Let me finish. I do think we're going to see it, you know, we're going to see it all play out. In the next 3 episodes at least. So I think that'll give us enough room. So, officially, we have passed. Did you guys pass it before? Did you guys vote on it? Like Killer Pass
we
on it.
I want to say we didn't vote on things when you were gone, because if it was a tie, you know,
yeah,
we had no tiebreaker.
Well,
it would have got killed if we did go through with it. I'll say that much.
Let's lower the suspenseful music. Mushoku Tensei has earned its first pass.
Yeah.
Look at Sablina. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful?
It's playing.
Yeah, I see it. It's beautiful.
My stream is late, so I'll see it in like 5 seconds. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so
Nice.
Sablina, the most beautiful creature ever made, my daughter. I love her to death. None of you can touch her. You're not allowed.
That
playing it on
Killer Pass screen, courtesy of Sasuke the Savage, made that all by himself, and I provided the voice.
Yep.
All right. Are you guys ready to move on?
That I am. What
Yeah, I guess.
All right, cool.
Oro.
I have to get used to all these contraptions. So now where? Okay, go back to the main screen. Okay. Now let's talk about Rurouni Kenshin. It's also up for Killer Pass today.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's right. Rurouni Kenshin with Kurogasi. Or Kurogasi.
Okay.
Am I even saying that right?
Korogasa.
Kurogasa, that's it. Can I point something out?
What's that?
Go ahead.
Kurogasa, that's the main villain, yes? In this episode?
Yes.
He looks just like Gambit from X-Men.
He sort of does. Jury?
Tell me he does it. Like, when I saw him and the way that he looked, I was like, either the manga artist was... Oh, what are you showing up, Satsuki?
Something I got from Right Stuff. Psalm 100
nice.
thing.
Nice.
Oh,
wait,
the flyers?
There you go.
But yeah, I was looking at it like the same, face guard and helmet, the same hair, the same look. I was like, this is Gambit from X-Men, but done in the samurai universe. I thought that was
really
neat.
creepy.
Yeah, he had the creepiness factor to him. But yeah, I just noticed that and I just thought it was neat. And just wanted to say that. Also, I knew at the very, very end that the shit that was going to happen was going to happen. Because
I've got your girlfriend, Kitchen. You can't get her.
Hold on to this until we come back. Inuyasha!
Kagome!
Yeah, it's what it reminded me of was the Inuyasha Kagome shit. I was just like, here we go again on my own.
Satsuki, you're shaking your head in disappointment.
I hate that trope. I hate the damsel in distress thing, especially because they show her to be a character. I'm not saying she's going to go out there and beat these guys. I'm not saying that. But she showed herself to be somewhat capable with the sword. And the way she's been utilized in the past 3 episodes is person to protect. I'll use her as a chip whenever we need Kenshin to get a rage boost now with what happened. And just, again, person that you need to protect. So she's the motivator and the big boy is doing what they need to do instead of her being her own character or maybe having some agency in the story somewhat. Because I don't even know what her purpose is right now. Like, I don't understand what she's going to do traveling with Kenshin. What exactly is her thing?
She just gets mad and hits him.
And can't cook.
and falls asleep while getting her mouth all stretched out like this and everything.
Yeah, I really hate that trope. Not to say that you can't ever have somebody get kidnapped and have this plot line, but don't let that be the only thing that is to them. And right now, Kaoru is just... I had a lot of hope for her in the beginning because I thought, oh, okay, so she's training under the sword, so maybe she'll be a capable fighter in her own right, and maybe kind of take the burden off of Kenshin at some points. Like maybe there'll be a time where he can't fight everybody and she's able to hold down the fort. Which she kind of did that with one of the episodes when she was fighting off fodder guys, but again, Kenshin had to say today then, and Kenshin has to say today now. And that's unfortunate. I guess it's because this is not a new series. It's a new anime, but it's not a new series. So maybe it's just a test of that time. But it's a trope that I've always hated. So it doesn't matter when I see it.
What if it's a guy that has to be saved by a woman?
It's happened before. That's kind of a thing in Claymore because all the characters in Claymore are pretty much female. So, the MC Rocky, that's his name, is kind of in the same boat. But the thing is, he doesn't stay in that role for long before he's out of the story completely. So, yeah. Well, not to spoil anything about that, but yeah, he didn't die for that to happen. It just happened. So it's not because it's a female character that's happening to. It's just that it's a character that I saw potential in, and I kind of see what they're going to do with her, and maybe what they'll continue to do with her.
I want to say in the original '90s anime, this is the arc that I really liked. Like this is the first kind of where I got into it beyond these introduction episodes. So I was a kid at this point, so we know how that is.
See, we judge you even if you're a kid. It's okay.
Can we judge somebody else too?
Oh, who we judge?
Like Ruler in the chat said, look at Jury's feet because I posted this thing of Jury. Can you guys point to Jury's feet in this, please? It doesn't fucking exist. It doesn't fucking exist, right?
I see hands.
He's having optical illusion about feet. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's not a soul. There's not a toe. What are you talking about, Light? You're that warped. Seek help. Counseling.
Yeah. Sometimes I think Light Ruler is just Elon Musk's alt.
He's an AI.
Something.
Yeah, technology.
I don't know. Speaking of AI technology, this I don't know. That's a horrible transition.
I was like, where are you going with this? Because we're kind of like in feudal Japan, but all right.
I like how Homeboy in the white and the bandana, Zaza. Am I thinking of something different?
Well, he wants to be called. He wants to be known as Sonosuke now.
Okay, so yeah, Sonosuke.
No, Sonosuke.
Zonosuke. He gets stabbed in the fucking arm, and they're like, "Are you all right?" Yeah, I'm fine.
Just with a flesh wound.
I'm like, what, dude? You got fucked up.
He's had like his ribs broken, and he's been beaten down to within an inch of his life. He's just like, yeah, that's cool. I guess that's his whole thing. Like he's a whole tank or whatever, but I don't know if you can kind of get a stabbed right through your arm, but man.
That's true.
To be fair, it was part of a sword that went through him.
Yeah, it still went through though.
Still went through.
One side to the other.
Yeah.
I like how this guy, we just said with Kurogasa, because we're doing some pretty crazy things with the show already with Kenshin being able to cut bullets in half. But with this guy, they said, yeah, we're going to get a little mythical with this, because he basically has like Rolo's Gias and Cold Gias where he's just freezing people. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I like how they try to explain. I love when shows explain stuff that should not make any sense at all, because for the most part, yeah, with the whole breathing techniques thing. Because for the most part, this show is supposed to be realistic in the sense that we're not getting people that are going to use. Nobody's going to use a Hadouken. Nobody's going to use a Kamehameha, as far as I'm aware. But they explain his fighting spirit. He overwhelms you with his fighting spirit, and you freeze. I'm just like, yeah. And then they just go, oh. And it breaks it.
You know, it's a good show that does that. It's a Kokoro no Basketball, where they do these crazy ass moves, and it's like, how does he do that? And all he does is like take a step backward and shoot the ball.
My god!
It makes it look like he's doing this superhuman thing that no one should be able to do. It's like, I tried blocking the ball and it went right through my hand, and all he's doing is just doing a jump shot, but just taking one step back and shooting it. It's just so goofy when you see it like that. But
I
it's
love
funny.
that show. Oh god, they did a lot of ridiculous things in that show though. The meteor dunk.
Oh,
The
the
guy who
meteor
was
dome.
able to shoot full court basically and do it effortlessly. He's just like,
Uh-huh. Right. Like these Oh,
swish.
and of course Kokoro, doing his misdirection, like hitting of the ball, and it looks like a freaking like key blast. Just and
Yeah,
the guy's like, "Oh, I have the ball in my hand. Shoot it!"
disappearing in general because they're like, he has no presence. Oh man, good show, man. Good show. But yeah. So the plot of this episode was Kenshin being commissioned by police guy to protect imperialist guy, and I wrote in the notes. I said because his name is Jusanro Tani, and what that actually did, I actually like chuckled at this part because they set him up as the fat cocky guy. Because you always got somebody that's cocky, like there's this impending threat. It happens in like every horror movie. There's this impending threat, and there's this one guy who's just like, that piece of shit. They never seen anything that I could do. Just waiting until they come see me. They won't do the same thing. Rah, 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 rah. So he's doing that. He's doing that whole bit. He's just like, yeah, I have my 13 men, and you're saying that this one man compares to my might, blah 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 blah. And then he sees Kenshin, he's like, "Oh, we need Kenshin." He's like, "All right, you guys come through, please, save me, save my ass." I like how they kind of just broke that apart, instead of just dragging that whole thing out.
Yeah, for me, another solid episode. I just don't have anything to say about this. It feels, you know what this feels like? This feels like, remember season 1 of Vinland Saga?
Very first time.
Remember in season 1 of Vinland Saga where we would talk about it for like 5 minutes? Because it'd be like just one talking point and that's it. Sort of what I feel like with Kenshin for me. So I liked it. I'm really actually looking forward to the next episode because, like I said, as a kid, I remember this. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But I think we're actually starting to, I wouldn't say heat up a little bit. I don't think that's the right verbiage, but I think we're starting to pick up the pace.
He's heating up. Sure.
Well, there's more tension with this because we are dealing with somebody, unlike Sanosuke, who was a person who he just wanted a good fight. He wasn't an evil person. We're dealing with somebody who is like evil incarnate. He has the look. He has the how he sounds, how he talks, and he wants to draw out the past Kenshin, the manslayer Kenshin. The Kenshin that was killing people mercilessly. So that's the whole dilemma of it. It's kind of like what we saw in Trigun with Vash, where you had Legato want to bring out well, not necessarily Vash of the past because he was never like that, but of course the full power of Vash. So that's kind of what we're getting with this character. And like I said, unlike Sonosuke, he would be able to bring that out of Kenshin, or at least he would be able to push him better than Sonosuke, because not only is he just pure evil, but now he has Kaoru as a bargaining chip for him to make a decision on whether or not he should break his clause of no killing, or let Kaoru die.
Inuyasha, don't worry about me. Kagome, I'll save you.
Even in that case, Kagome held her own in so many times in Inuyasha.
She could hit the mark with the bow.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason why the Sacred Jewel became Sacred Jewel Shards is because of her.
Awful
She
character.
tried killing the awful character. You don't like her?
She ruined everything.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She did piss me off that one episode where Inuyasha went to save her ass, and what was his name? Koda, that little dog demon thing. Yeah. She was more concerned about him. And again, Inuyasha came in not knowing a fucking thing. Like, he was the villain. How was he supposed to know that he was good now? And she's like, how dare you? And then, like, did the sit thing. And yeah,
sit,
I hated
boy.
that. Yeah, and then he's just like, what did I do? All I did was try to save your ass. Should just let you die.
I think that's a product of the bad rom-com thing where, like, everybody loved violent tsuneres. That was like all the rage.
Oh, that is something I cannot stand in anime.
Would you sit if Kagome told you to sit?
No. She's like 14.
Right. She goes, sit, boy. I go, yeah, watch this. And then I just kick her head off.
Just like, get the fuck out of my way, child.
Like Nezuko?
Oh, like Nezuko? yeah, I'd go, kick. And then her head just goes flying, and then Inuyasha is like literally happy. He's going, dude, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for killing the love of my life.
Well, no, because at that time she wasn't the love of his life. He's just like happy. He likes the other girl anyway.
Kikyo.
That's right. Him and Kikyo are like this. So I'm doing him a favor.
They do got a weird thing going on, don't they?
Yeah.
Kikyo,
because of you.
Kikyo, I'm just saying, Kikyo kind of lit.
Sango.
I mean, she was on.
That's right, Sango. Yeah.
Ooh, Sango was
Goes.
one of my first anime crushes.
Yeah, same. That and Kikyo. I think it was Sango first.
Yeah, Sango for me, and then like Faye Valentine after. I was just like, all right, I'm moving on to better pastures.
Yeah, so now we move on into our Killer Pass segment. So let's bring up the suspenseful music back up. All right. We got to decide. Are we killing or are we passing Rurouni Kenshin? Now this is difficult.
It is.
I know we just gave it, I guess, praise, but we could flip on a dime, okay?
We could. We could
subvert expectations.
We can do that.
Satsuki here, he's got a murderous bloodlust, and the only way he can quench it is if he draws the blood of Kaoru right in front of Kenshin.
Just tell me to do it, boss. Tell me to do it, boss.
And he's gonna do it.
Swear to God.
If I tell him to do it, he's gonna do it. This is like a Code Geass situation. Okay? If I say the wrong words, he may decide to do it. He's ready.
He's vicious.
He's a killer.
Ready.
He's cold-blooded. But watch out in the streets. He passes by. Don't look him in the eye.
Don't.
Okay, what are you giving it?
Pass.
Yeah, I'm passing it too. Not even any kind of weird thing.
Yeah, passing it. Kind of an easy pass.
Yeah. What the? I didn't do that.
You didn't do what?
Did I do that?
I'm scared now. Yeah, the Creeping Storm. That's what I was referencing. Subvert expectations. Like if D&D were writing this, we just decided to just make a dumbass. We're like, yeah, we like the show. We don't expect this. Kill it. What?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead. Get on to our.
Hello, Denatos.
Oh, Dan.
Media.
Hey, Dan. Let's go ahead and get into our final show of the evening. KOA's favorite. Zom 100.
That's funny and rich coming from you.
Yeah, I'm 2/3 of KOA's favorite. Zom 100. Moo, 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 moo.
Oh, so who wants to go first? Because this episode was
Fucking hated this episode. Can I go first?
Go first.
Yeah, go ahead. The
All
floor
right.
is yours.
That came off really aggressive. I'm sorry. I don't feel really strongly about this.
No, not at all. I couldn't tell.
I really don't. Like, this is really inoffensive. It's just these things that I think it's just these things that I notice subjectively I just don't like about this show. I just feel like the zombies, like, and this is me coming from my own expectations, because this is what I realized after I was in the shower. The water was coming down, hitting me. I was in a Kiritsugu mood, you know?
Mm.
I was fucked up. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. What's going on with this on 100 shit? And I think it's just coming down to personal subjectiveness. I just, these are the list of things I just didn't like. I think the zombies have zero credibility in the show at all. The MC doesn't even freaking care about his own show. That's what it feels like. So, like, why should I care about the plot if you don't care about the plot? It also, to me, is just like one gigantic power fantasy, which we've seen a bunch of those, and I don't think I've liked a single power fantasy. I could be wrong. Also, like, he gets a suit in this episode, and now he can't get bit by zombies. So, like, what's the point of zombies again? Zombies are supposed to be a credible threat, I think. I could be wrong about that, which is I want you guys to, after I'm done, just kind of, fuck my shit up if I'm wrong. But also, like, the main girl is just extremely generic. She's like this cold and calculating type, but with like zero and no variability in her personality. She's kind of bland. And immediately they like explain away the shark thing as well. Like, I know that was a joke. They didn't exactly like, this is why this is happening. It's just like, it was just a very generic kind of trope for her character to do. And this kind of feels to me like Fire Force levels of forced. Fire Forced. That's a good term. We should use that in the future. Fire
Forced.
And I just feel like the main character as well, he's like going for this weird watered down Deku thing. I don't know. I don't know.
They
also,
were definitely, I'll say that much. They were, to me at least, it definitely felt like a My Hero parody. With the shoes he was wearing, the lightning power looks like the cowling. I think that's what it's called, the cowling power that he has. So I definitely think they were trying to parody that. Which is fair.
Nothing wrong with that. Also, the one dude got naked, and I was just like, why is this so dumb? I don't like this. And then at the very end, the main girl immediately falls in love with the main MC, because the main MC just said, "You're someone precious to me now." And suddenly that's because the MC, this once again, this is Fire Forced. Alliteration. To me, because it's the same thing that happened in Fire Force, where it's like the one dude punches the girl and the girl falls in love with him. Less egregious than that, of course. I don't think.
Is that what happened? He punched the girl in the face and she loves him?
Yeah, he punched Princess Hibana, which I think is why we killed the show, actually.
No,
we killed it
that was
a couple episodes after that, but
yeah, that was an epic rant, by the way.
Yeah. I also want to say this is not an epic rant. There's nothing that I feel was worth ranting about. This is literally just like, I just don't like this. Like, not that I don't like it, I just don't think it's interesting. It's very bland, and I don't know. I feel like I've seen this a million times before, like in some form or fashion, and I don't know. I just didn't like it. What'd you guys think?
You want to know what I think? See?
Uh-oh. Are you gonna stab
Let's
me?
hear it.
Because you don't like this show, our friendship is damaged beyond repair. I don't like you anymore. Fuck this podcast,
Oh,
and I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Well, that
Yeah, are you gonna... What about... You gonna leave me too? You gonna quit?
am I gonna quit?
Good shit. Yeah.
Wait, you're back.
I hold down
thought
the
you
fort.
quit.
Oh, I gotta get my check.
Wait,
I gotta
wait,
get my check.
wait, we don't make any money.
Oh, well.
What?
I think you're lying.
Just kidding.
Yes, Joel.
Where's that soundbite? There you go.
But do you want to respond, EA?
Yeah, I can respond. Totally.
Uh-oh.
We're still friends. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about not being friends or anything. I'm just... Let me just start.
Are you... Am I precious to you, EA? Or am I fire forced?
So about the show, it was definitely on the silly factor this episode. Like,
Yeah,
that's
times
not
100.
That's not to say that the whole series hasn't felt that way, because it has. I mean, and what I mean by silliness, I'm talking about just the zombies, the running, the colorful blood, just things of that nature. I still think it doesn't lose what it has originally when it comes to just the soul of the show, which is, you know, living versus surviving. And this episode definitely more on the silly side, especially with walking sharks. I definitely feel like this is just poking fun at the land shark argument, and it almost kind of felt like, I love in the notes where it says right here, Shark Boy just comes back from the dead. It really is like that. I'm like, oh my god, it's Shark Boy all over again, but not nearly as bad. I feel like the main girl's supposed to be the way that she is because that's who she is. She's surviving and not living. And she's over critical about a lot of things because of the zombie apocalypse. And yeah, the personality right now is that. I feel like this is a character that once we see more of her, she'll learn to loosen up and open up and kind of maybe be a little bit more likable. Because right now I feel like this character is that for a reason. Main character, I still like the main character. I feel like, yeah, he wore the chainmail, which is essentially that's what you wear. It's a scuba suit, you know, so sharks can't bite you. It's a real thing. So I thought it was kind of clever with the whole, you know, zombies trying to bite and he's just getting trampled and the friend just doesn't even care. He's just like, yeah, you got it, man. See you, Tendo. That part's hilarious. But I think it was just more of paying homage to the superhero aspect because they did mention Spider-Man and it's like, well, you don't have web and you don't have a suit. And he made a suit. Was it close to being Spider-Man? It had the same colors. It had the red and blue. So I'm thinking maybe it's kind of a tribute to Spider-Man. And yes, my hero as well with the punch, with the electrical shock, which that's all science too, by the way. Sharks are weird about electrical occurrence because they can feel it up in their nose. I don't know how zombie sharks are, but I'm assuming they work the same. But yeah, it was just a goofy, fun episode with a little bit of nonchalant. I wouldn't say the girl immediately fell in love with the dude. I think she's more returning the favor, being appreciative, saying, you saved my life. Here's my contact. I don't think it's a love thing, though I can see them spinning it into one, which if they do, I'm going to kind of not like that, to be honest. Because to me, I don't see a love interest with that. But I don't know. If they spin it into that, then so be it.
I do want to say, real quick, the shark thing, that may be a Junji Ito reference. Because there's like a very similar creature in Gyo. And that's a Junji Ito thing. It's where basically fish turn into zombies. And they come out from the ocean and attack and take over.
Huh.
And that's one of them.
Maybe it's paying homage to Junji Ito too. Because I noticed this show definitely does zombie references. And if that's one, then I could see that.
We gotta do some Junji Ito stuff.
I'm waiting for that one that's coming soon.
Yeah, Uzumaki.
On Adult Swim, Uzumaki. That one looks really good. I can't wait for that one.
I think Uzumaki is probably his best one, but my personal favorite one is Tomoe. I think.
Yeah, a lot of people love that one.
Yeah, that was I love that one just because, the stuff that happens in there is just it's kind of hilarious. Horror always like toes the line of being comedic, depending on what you do, like the execution of it. And a lot of things in there is just funny to me. There's a guy in there who basically abandons his entire family because he's simping over her. It's great. I love it. But wait, you?
What? No, nothing.
Oh,
I didn't say anything.
There goes your life savings again. Can't keep bailing you out, see. But were you done yet?
Oh yeah, I'm done. It was a fun episode. Not my favorite one by far, but not enough for me to be out of it.
So I'll say with this, I think a lot of people's issues with the show, not to say that people, if you don't like the show, I'm not saying your opinion isn't valid on it, but I think a lot of people keep looking at the show as a zombie show, which of course the zombie apocalypse is the backdrop. It's the setting of the series. So of course you would think that you're going to get there are like certain expectations that comes with this. We're kind of retreading waters because my whole thing is I don't think the show is trying to focus on the survival aspect or because a lot of what you'll get with those shows, Walking Dead, whatever it may be, High School of the Dead, you'll get from a lot of those shows this somber mood and them trying to do their best to live through it, live through the apocalypse. I think Zombie 100 took that premise and they decided to look at it in a different way. Instead of how would you survive it, is how would you live through it with the expectation that you're going to turn into a zombie. Like, how would you live life to the fullest? And that's why the show is so wacky and off the wall. This episode was a lot. Like, this is the wackiest the show ever been, with the walking shark and Kencho showing cheeks to save his friend.
He told the shark to eat his ass.
That's so stupid. See, like, and what EA talked about with like the blood and it being like paint, like, it looks like paint or whatever. The show, to me, that's the one thing I'll disagree with. I feel like it's super original in that I don't think I've seen a zombie show been taken to this level to where, for one, it's been this ridiculous. Even in stuff that's been more comedic, because this is not the first time where comedy has been put in zombie shows, but it's one of the few times where it's taking itself serious in that it's focusing on the living aspects rather than the surviving aspect of the zombie apocalypse. And then it turned up the comedy and wackiness up to a whole different level. And I think this, because of that, the show is kind of self-aware, those tropes that you'll get and those shows. Because, like, for example, they did the whole thing of, in any other zombie show, this would be a big thing, right? The high school, or the high school girl, when she pushes Jinbei, that's what I call her. We got her name in this episode.
Yeah, risk management.
Oh yeah, their nickname for her Miss Risk Management, and then her actual name is Shizuka.
Yep.
But she pushes her down to save herself. How many times have we seen that in the zombie show? It happens like every time.
Loads.
It happens every time. Sometimes multiple times within the show. Somebody pushes them down to try to survive themselves. Blah blah blah. Maybe they'll get eaten. Maybe that person gets eaten. Whatever. But yeah, that happens. She ends up surviving. There's really no consequence with that character. We just don't focus on that. So I think that's an instance of the show acknowledging, yeah, this thing happens, but we're not going to use it in the same way other shows use it. Because I think in any other show, that would be a dramatic plot point. Maybe Shizuka tries to get revenge on her, or maybe that high school girl gets her just desserts because of what she did. And the show kind of treats it like, oh, yeah, that happened. Well, we'll move on to the next thing. It's not really a big thing. So a lot of the things that you would expect from a zombie apocalypse show aren't present here. And I think we just have to look at the show in a different light. It's not a zombie show. It's zombies in it, but it's not what you would expect from a zombie show.
Yeah.
I wish I could give an analogy to a show that like takes a premise like this and completely changes how we're supposed to view it, but I can't think of one right now. But yeah, this show is wacky, it's funny in some regards.
Zombieland
and I
Saga.
just yeah. Well, I haven't seen all the Zombieland Saga, but
Doesn't she die in the first 8 seconds by Truck Kun?
yeah. See, but with Zombieland Saga, here's why I say like they're different, and I haven't seen it, so I'm just going off of the little knowledge I know of that show. Zombieland Saga doesn't need to be a zombie show for it to work. Like because it's just like an idol show or whatever. At the end of the day, this show for what it's like the themes is trying to bring about of you living life to the fullest and kind of throwing caution to the wind. The zombie apocalypse setting is necessary for that to happen, for us to get the contrast between Shizuka, who wants to just survive, and Tendo, who wants to live life to the fullest, and their different opinions on how life should be lived. It's because we had that zombie apocalypse setting that those perspectives work and they clash with one another. Because Shizuka is kind of like how a normal person would react to zombie apocalypse. She wants to survive. And she kind of looks at everybody else who's doing this goofy stuff like, what the hell are you doing exactly?
Yeah. She kind of looks at them as irresponsible and, I wouldn't group up with you because you'd get us killed.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess technically you could get killed. You could get killed walking outside and getting in the car and explosion happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, they're still living.
Yeah.
Still moving. And eventually their time's going to run out, but until then, they're going to live it.
Yeah. Because I'll say when I watched the first episode, seeing how Tendo, like, this was, I feel like, where everybody should have changed their opinion on how they view the show. The minute that Tendo looked at the zombie apocalypse and he didn't give into despair, he didn't cry. His first reaction when he learned of the zombie apocalypse, he smiled and ran out his room and was jumping for joy, basically. That's
wonderful thumbnail.
Yeah, that snapshot is basically Zom 100. It's this wave of happiness in the midst of what we would expect to be more serious, somber premise. You know what I mean? So that's because of that. Because I also had I think I felt like C when I first watched the show until I kind of went, okay, I see what the show is going for. It's a lot different than what I was expecting.
Yeah. And coming from a guy that watches everything zombie related, it was definitely a nice welcome surprise. I thought it was a nice little something that we needed, like a little subversion of expectations, so to speak. Yep, there it is. There it is in all of its glory. You could say that it's horrifying.
Oh my god.
Go Benny. Yeah, I mean that's fair. And that's one thing when Satsuki, when you talk about how you don't think the show is going for that, and I realize that. Like, my expectations are grounded in Zombieland. My expectations are grounded in, all of the the decades and decades of zombie stuff, where even in the most comedic zombie series like Zombieland still has those dark moments, and still has some sort of groundedness or dramatic groundedness in the plot somewhere. So I think for me, my expectations, like, I agree with that. They're definitely not in the right place. But it's also like, I kind of can't not think that way. It's one of those things where I'm just not used to it. And so when I watch this show, it's not like I roll my eyes at it. It's just like, I'm just confused. So, I'm definitely trying, for every week ever since I came back, trying to get a grasp on this show, what I'm not getting here. So,
and maybe you never will, but that's all right, because I always love to see different perspectives as far as what makes people like a show and what makes people not like a show.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. You learn.
Yeah,
stuff.
it really is.
Yeah, like you, EA, talking about the shark. I was like, oh, that's Junji Ito. Well, it could be. Like
that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of references that maybe if we went back and looked, we'd probably find a lot more. It's probably references to like a lot of zombie things.
Yeah. Maybe Shaun of the Dead.
I want to add this because this is something that I thought of, like thinking about another show that I think also kind of abandoned what the expectations of people, but this is in a negative way. So there was a little show, I think 2 years ago or maybe a year ago, named Yasuke, which was focused on the Black Samurai under Nobunaga, I believe. And that show came out and people were not liking the show because in the first episode they showed like these like aliens and mechs and people having powers, and people wanted like they wanted a realistic take on this. And for me, the show isn't bad because it went with the whole sci-fi fantasy element. The show is bad because it's really bad. The show is bad. But it's not bad because it went out of people's expectations with that necessarily. It's bad because it's just it doesn't do anything right. The premise, the character arcs is just, it doesn't hit on those base elements. But yeah, I think with this show, because it's a looked at as a zombie show, some of the story beats that you would expect it to go to, mainly like the whole survivability thing and there being tension, like because you talked about like there not being any tension because he's wearing a shark suit. I actually like the fact that they don't even try to build up fake tension, because with those shows and Walking Dead or whatever, who's going to survive for the most part. It's really the side characters who have
Rick.
Yeah, but
Coral.
We're not even going to talk about that. Oh, God.
Where's Coral?
Oh man, Walking.
No. It's supposed to be sad, but you can't help but just like they memed it because it was so ridiculous.
It's like how Breaking Bad gets memed to death now. God.
Yeah, I keep getting away with them.
He can't keep getting away with it. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I lost my whole train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, no, you
End
were
the show.
saying you were basically saying that you shouldn't a show shouldn't be bad because it's not meeting your preconceived notions or expectations. It should be bad because the merit of it being a bad story.
Yeah, because I think because I have a really big issue with this. I have certain expectations whenever I read or watch something. So this has been something I've been trying to do in the past like 2 years or whatever. I've always tried to check myself and kind of reevaluate the show for what it is rather than what I expected it to be. Because there've been plenty of times where I'll go into a show thinking, "Oh, it's supposed to be this or it's supposed to be that," and then it doesn't end up being that, and I'm disappointed. And then I kind of had to check myself and go, "Okay, what is the show actually going for? What's going on in the story?" And I judge it based on that. I kind of got to check myself and stuff like that. I think Zom 100 is one of those shows that, um, probably fooled a lot of people with the premise of it being in a zombie apocalypse setting. And because I definitely didn't think we were going to get this show. Like, I think anybody who wasn't familiar with the show, if they said, "Yeah, this is what I thought Zom 100 would be," they're lying. There's no way people expected this from this show.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm welcome to it. It's very different from the genre. I don't know, and I think it's a good take. I do think because I think the Decrepit Storm said it. I don't think it's as interesting as the first 3 episodes, just because they're getting a little too wacky with it. Because what I liked about it is the fact that it focused on the living aspect rather than the surviving aspect.
Yeah.
Which I guess they are doing that because he wanted to be a hero, so that's why he did what he did this episode. But I think things were looked at in a more serious manner in the first 3 episodes, and this one kind of just went off the wall. So it would be nice to see it have a balance of seriousness, comedic, lightheartedness. Because you do have to anchor yourself. You can't just float up into space and everything's wacky.
Yeah.
But
Sasuke,
yeah.
I was gonna say another, I guess, a great example of the show that you were referring to, where it's versus that expectation and everything. Vinland Saga. It's a show that is not about war. I mean, yeah, it has that in the first season, but then when season 2 comes out, you get what the real juxtaposition of what the series is about. It's anti-war and just all that.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one. That's a really good one.
And then there's going to be people that will hate it because it doesn't have fighting.
Yeah, I actually had a friend who didn't like it because he was like, "Yeah, I didn't want this Thorfinn to seek peace. I wanted Vikings and killing and pillaging, And yeah, the show wasn't about that. It tricked a lot of people into thinking that's what you were going to get, but it's not really about that.
Yeah, I'm glad of the story that we got. Like, I love the first season, and then season 2 brought it home. I was literally just like, okay, now the show is a masterpiece. Unless it finds a way to fuck itself up somehow from here on out, it's really good.
Arnhide
Which it could
doesn't bring out a box of Crave.
God
Zombie
damn it.
Arnhide.
We're gonna go ahead and talk about Crave every time we bring up Vinland Saga. When season 3 comes out, we're talking about it. How many years in the future from now? He's gonna go, "Oh, Crave! I love me some Crave."
Don't worry, I'm coming up with theories.
Crave theories. If you made a video about Ironhide and Crave, I'd share it with everybody.
Oh, C has to wait till the big boob blonde girl shows up, and then he'll enjoy it.
I feel like that's going to be the next episode, which isn't coming out next week because yet another thing is postponing it because I feel like they air these things at weird times in Japan, and then they have to like wait or something. But yeah, RV of the Dead is the next episode, and I'm thinking the blonde's going to be in the RV.
Could be.
Hey,
Winnebago, more like wanna bango.
What?
Giggity,
That's our Quagmire.
It's Quagmire, Quagmire, giggity giggity go.
All right. That it for Zom 100?
That's it for me.
Yes, about everything I want to say about it. He got the digits at least, or whatever the hell. Which I don't know how the internet's still working. But
I was thinking the same thing. Like the fact that this place has energy and electricity and any kind of Wi-Fi is just like, how?
I don't know. It surprised me that zombie or animals could turn into zombies. I thought that was like freaky. That was
Yeah, it's weird. Some zombie universes it can happen. Some it can't. It just depends on what universe you're in. But yeah, zombie sharks and zombie dogs can happen. Resident Evil, baby.
Yuck.
Well, let's go ahead and get into our final segment of the show. Viewer questions.
Viewer questions.
Yeah, so we only have 3 questions this week.
Oh,
Alright.
what?
No.
Only 3.
Where y'all at?
Our first question, by the way, if you want to submit your questions, in the description below is a Google form that you can fill out. We're going to steal all of your information. We're going to sell it
The highest bidder.
to the Russians. You're fucked.
Oh,
So you're fucked. You
Boom.
better not. Yeah, boom.
Phone.
You're fucked. You click on that link, you're fucked. But click on it because we need questions. I don't know if I'm trying to promote this or not. Anyways, first question. Any thoughts on anonymous code? You guys know what this is?
The
I have
fuck?
no idea what that means. Is that
I think it's a part of the Steins Gate universe.
a song? Oh,
What? Because
I
it
don't
has like the
know.
semicolon.
yeah, because what I've heard is that the semicolon is all in the same universe. Like any show that has a semicolon is that.
So it is. So this is from the wiki. It says Anonymous Code is a visual novel game developed by Mages and Chiyomaru Studio and is the 6th mainline entry in the Science Adventure series, which is the series that Steins Gate takes place in. It came out in July of last year on the PS4, Nintendo Switch, and there was a PS Vita version, oddly enough, but was canceled.
Still release those? Oh, it was canceled. Okay.
Yeah, it was canceled.
Good.
It's also a Windows port that just is about to come out. It's coming out in a couple weeks. So it's a big game. It's a part of a big franchise. Of course, being Science Adventure. Most people know that. Probably won't even know that name, but that is where Steins Gate is home. So, any
Thoughts
thoughts?
on it? Fucking sucks. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't have any experience with it, so
Yeah, I want to say I knew nothing about it other than 2 seconds ago. So
There you go.
yeah.
Next question. I think we'll be able to answer this one. Will you watch the One Piece live action?
we have to.
Yep. I think so.
Yep. I propose to these guys that we do a special video or podcast on the series. If it comes out weekly, we can do. I don't know if we're gonna do one or multiple. We haven't figured that out yet. We'll just see what we're feeling. But I feel like we kind of have to, because it's going to be one of the biggest releases of the year in terms of anime live actions, in terms of just, One Piece is huge right now. It's literally one of the most popular things right now. So, also, it's interesting. Are they gonna,
Release.
is it gonna be good? Is this going to get EA on the One Piece train? Probably not.
It's 1,000 chapters. I don't think that'll be enough.
Chapter 1. Hold on. Chapter 1. He ate the gum fruit.
Actually accurate.
Chapter 2. He meets Zoro.
Wait, is that accurate?
Chapter 3. He dies. Okay, the end.
Oh my god.
I don't think I read the right book.
Yeah, which, by the way, I finished my Arabasta video today. It's 30 pages.
Yuck.
30 pages to talk about all of Arabasta. So, exciting. Last question. Fitz, a man, according to Rudy, made Rudy blush. This is a good question. Has a man ever made you blush?
I mean, I can honestly say I don't know. I don't think so. But at the same time, I can say as a straight heterosexual male that there's some dudes that are attractive. I cannot deny that and say, I'm not like these alpha males like, I never think of men that way. There's some hot dudes out there. You know what I mean? You can at least say that, yes, Brad Pitt in his 50s is a freaking gorgeous man.
Yeah.
Just a gorgeous man. Chris Hemsworth is just a gorgeous man. He's got the 6-pack abs that you can grade cheese off of, and you'd want to eat the cheese off of and everything. I'm sorry, but I guess to answer that, no. not that I remember or anything. Was in a sober state of mind or whatever.
Maybe not in like the same context as Rudy, but I feel like there has been a point in my life where somebody has complimented me for something, and it was either from a male or female, probably both, where I definitely was like kind of taken aback by it. And definitely blushed.
Yeah, when you say it like that, a guy making you blush, just embarrassing kind of way. Now I could say, yeah, there's been guys that have been embarrassing enough, because I've reacted in that sort of way.
Yeah.
I could at least say that, but not in a, I don't know, like a sexual type of way or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll probably echo that too, because I don't handle praise as gracefully as other people.
Satsuki, you look nice today.
He wasn't lying.
He's gone.
He did not handle that very well.
Thank you.
Man quit the podcast a second time in one episode.
Is that a record?
No, not yet. 3 will be the record.
All right.
Going for the 3rd Royal Rumble win there.
Yeah. 3 belts.
Yeah, I think that's sort of it for that topic. I can't think of anything else to add on to that.
We gotta read some of these comments. Ryzen wasn't here. It's good, Ryzen, friend of the podcast. Also a part of the Rent a Girlfriend podcast. Fun podcast, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little behind on that one. See, you're coming back, right?
No comment.
Yeah, great. We can't wait to see you there. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
I like how the emote shows up on EA's camera. Like on the actual stream.
Yeah. It does that every time. Look.
Boo, you stink!
Okay, maybe that one didn't.
To that. Yeah, we have to add emotes to those. And then it'll show up. So we have to come up with some creative ones.
I don't see anything.
Ellie's in the chat. Welcome, Ellie. He's got some great pictures, by the way.
Oh yeah. Check out his Instagram. Bridal ambition, not bridal ambition. But yeah, Rise of Sun said I'm going to go back to lurking because I'm not caught up to the song, but I agree with you. Donataz Media said, I'm with Sasuke. Tomoe is my favorite Junji story too. I've read 3, so there's still a lot I gotta read, but yeah, Tomoe is my favorite. KW6 says Vinland's Saga author in an interview said he doesn't like violence and people who want it should read Attack on Titan. Vinland Saga violence doesn't happen all the time too. Donataz Media said, what I think about Vinland is I feel the execution of its big twist is a lot better than Zon 100. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Vinland Saga is in a different class. The Crypto Storm said,
Yeah.
rent. Apparently, it's coming out all at once rather than weekly. It kind of sucks. Philip says, Chapter 3 Profit. W6 says, I will only recommend the anime, but I still watch the live action since I had good vibes from the actors. We're talking about One Piece. Like Ruler said, he blushing. Like Ellie said, I'm listening and focused. C Tactors on rag. Woo! So you get somebody excited.
Yeah. I know someone will listen. His name is Ellie. He listened to my whole catalog. Like the previous catalog when I already recorded it. Thank you for that, Ellie.
The biggest Mommy Nanami fan I know.
Well, I only have 2 questions left for the rest of this podcast.
All right.
Only 2?
2.
Only 2.
1 for each of you.
Huh?
If you don't answer truthfully, I'll fucking murder you both, okay? Swear to God.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
EA.
No.
I'm calling upon you. This is your moment. Where can they find you?
I'm saying strong. You can find me over at Everything Animated. And
voice.
You can see me there doing weird girlfriend stuff. And also eating lots of pancakes.
With water?
No. Well, I mean, yes, because I don't choke.
What about lake
like
water?
Somebody I know. No lake. Yeah, drink the lake water and everything's fine and great. I'm sorry, I'm off topic. You can follow me. All these places. I'm kind of bad at giving content out. And also, Sasuke, he hates me, but I love him.
True. I love you. I know.
So yes, you can follow me, and I have a Twitch account. Well, not me, but I'm stumbling. I'm fumbling. That. And also Patreon. Subscribe now. You get it today. Yippee yippee yay hey 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 hey.
$1.
Dollar bill, y'all.
All right.
All right, my voice is back.
Welcome back.
Well, Satsuki,
That'd be me.
you gotta rise to the occasion. You gotta share. You gotta tell the people where can they find you.
Well, you can find me on my Twitch, Satsuki the Savage, and that's Satsuki with a DA. Satsuki the Savage. Where we play a multitude of games. 1 being Nikkei, 2 being Persona 5 Royal, and the swing of things at the end of there. So you kind of might want to be in tune with these games before you watch them. Also started a Telltale game, The Expanse, or whatever the hell it's called. Ace Attorney, Justice for All currently. And something else that I can't think of at this juncture. But yeah, we play games there. Sometimes we talk about stuff that has nothing to do with games. Sometimes we make fun of people. Sometimes we make false accusations, mainly the chat towards me. And yeah, that's what we do on Twitch. But on my YouTube, Satsuki the Savage, that's the place you want to be at because nothing happens there. Nothing happens there. I've been planning on making videos though and making my resurgence. But I'm kind of stuck because I want to make videos a certain type of way. So I'm being too much of a perfectionist to the point that is impeding my progress. But don't worry, something will be there this year. I promise you. Ellie lied and said the chat is honest. Sasuke be lying. Who do you believe, me or Ellie?
Ellie propaganda.
Yeah.
I would say you're a very honest man, Satsuki.
Yeah. They used to call me Honest Satsuki.
Wow.
You grew the beard and everything.
Yeah. I had a hat, got assassinated.
So you're dead.
I mean, if I was dead, would I be here?
Well,
Yeah.
like, so surely would explain a lot of things.
I mean, this is where all the dead people go. You're here.
I want to say, listen, see, we brought you back from the dead.
Wait, how did I originally die?
Forgot.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. It's fuzzy.
Well, okay. My name is The Sea Tactics. You can find me over at The Sea Tactics. And I have a second channel called Bento where I cover Chainsaw Man whenever there's a new chapter. And, you know, ain't that the thing? There's one coming out tomorrow. So if you are caught up with Chainsaw Man and you like Chainsaw Man, definitely, please go check it out. As well, Sea Tactics. Mistakes were made. I can explain. I won't. I'll be vague about it. But we're doing AOT videos again, just because there's no JJK for the rest of this month, and I gotta do something. So that's gonna be fun. You can follow me there on those two platforms. I would greatly appreciate it if you would. We're about there to the magical 69K,
Ooh.
the nice number. So it's gonna be great. As well, join KOA Plus. It's only $1. It's only $1. You have $1. If you don't have $1, then that's
Get the fuck out of here, you brokey. Okay.
Are we gonna call them pay piggies now?
Pigs
in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, but we'll work on we're working on some Patreon content, and as well maybe even do that alcohol podcast that we proposed some earlier. We'll see. Also follow us on Twitter at King of Anime Pod. There you can find updates for when we go live and some announcements when they happen. Also, that's ran by EA, so give EA some love. That's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. See you guys later.
Johnny?
Later.